Welcome to this demonstration of DvSum's artificial intelligence-based agent for helping a telecommunications operator to empower its customers to get answers really quickly to any sort of service or billing issues that they encounter. In any telecommunications company, you're going to have a situation similar to this, where you see customer issues come in, probably hitting a chatbot first, then routed to a contact center agent. The agent can do some basic troubleshooting, but when it's a complicated issue, they're going to escalate to a more experienced technical support team. Those Tier 2 support agents are going to log into a bunch of different systems behind the scenes to gather the data that they need. They'll check the CRM to make sure the account is in good standing, check provisioning, make sure there's a good package on the modem, check network telemetry. Sometimes we call this swivel-chair integration, where they gather all the raw information they need. Ideally, they'll analyze things well, call the customer back and explain the fix, or escalate to the NOC team, or roll a truck to fix the situation. Let's contrast that to an environment where we've brought DvSum into the picture. The starting point, of course, is exactly the same. We're addressing the same customer who reports a service problem. It's probably still through a chatbot, or maybe they're calling directly into a support center. But now what happens is the DvSum agent is able to connect to those systems directly. It gathers the same raw data that the support engineer would have gotten, but much faster. And then, based on all the learning that we've had from past interactions, it can put that data together to synthesize an answer for the customer. You get both the benefit of quick access to the source systems, the CRM, the billing, the in-home telemetry, as well as the benefit of enforcing best practices learned from past troubleshooting. Now, one quick bit of context I want to provide here is that this video is focused on a responsive service assurance, but we also have a proactive solution where we're detecting problems with the customer experience even before they've called in, and we either open a ticket or take corrective action to solve those problems before they've even reached the call center. So keep that big picture in mind as you're seeing a demonstration on just the responsive solution now. The first thing I'm going to do here in DvSum is select the agent that I want to work with, so for service troubleshooting. And then let's ask our first question. Analyze this customer. I'll give it the account ID. Now what the agent does here is it connects to all those back-end systems. It's going to get the CRM data, the provisioning data, the network telemetry. So that'll take a few seconds just to get that data. And then it'll go through our standard workflow to figure out, all right, well, what kind of problem is this? Was it billing or provisioning, or is the customer, is it purely on premises, or what's going on here? And so what we see in this case is it's an outage. And so it leads right with that fact. This is an outage. And then importantly, don't send a truck, right? We can see I don't need to roll a truck in this case. Instead, this is a NOC team issue. Let's get that fiber node fixed. Now it leads with that fact. Now let's take a look at some of the details behind that, where it's not hiding that from me, so I get to see all the details that went into this decision here. So we look first CRM. George Wilson looks fine, like there's no overdue amount, anything like this. He's looking good. There doesn't seem to be a provisioning problem. The active package is the diamond package. Everything is good. When we look at the telemetry, nothing is jumping out here. I don't see a problem. We could look even more closely, but really there's not much going on. The key point is for this fiber node, we see that there's 89 modems on this node, and a bunch of them are having problems. And those are the raw numbers that back up what we saw as the final conclusion up above. So I ensure that my Tier 2 support engineer is going to get exactly the right solution based on looking at this. Now, let me point out, I can ask a follow-up question. In this case, I want to, hey, what fiber node was involved there? I didn't note it down. I don't want to hunt through everything, and how many customers were offline. It's going to come back and say that 84% were offline because we see that right there, 84%. And then just pointing that we can actively query what we've had in the past. So there's the fiber node ID. There's the wait a minute, 73%. Oh, okay. Actually, we can see I was saying the wrong thing. I asked for offline, and that's what it gave me. 84% had issues, but only 73% were really offline. So anyway, just a quick way to query all my past data to really, efficiently get it, just like you're used to in a ChatGPT, kind of an interactive session. Okay, next question. why did this customer see a bill change? Now note, this is a little bit different. This isn't quite the same service assurance, but these sort of billing questions are the second most common type of questions coming into the call center. The service and billing questions are the top two for sure. And now in this case, behind the scenes, the agent picks a different tool from its tool belt and says, aha, I can analyze this, and it's going to grab the most recent bill and the one before that and do the comparison. And here we see the main thing that drove this change was, a change in the rate plan from Internet 900 to Internet 1000. Like that's what it was. Now again, we've got the answer right at the top here, and then down below it's going to go through more details and explain to me, what's going on there. Here's the current bill, here's the previous bill, here are all the little details. So it's got all the underlying detail to back up what it came up with for its solution. All right, let me try another customer. I'm going to say, let's ask why another customer is having a problem getting online. Okay, so now this customer, well, I know just from the ID that I put in here, I'm going to be asking an FTTH customer in this case. Like this is really fiber to the home, and let's see what it's coming back with. And here you can see, boom, this is a billing issue. And so, again, it leads with the answer, so I know I get straight to the heart of the matter. Let's look at the details that fed into that, and it's going to show me here as we scroll down. The first thing that we're going to see is in the CRM, like this account status is suspended, and there's the overdue amount, the total balance. One of the key practical things to have in mind here is that the agent never forgets, right? So whereas a tier 2 support agent might jump down and start analyzing, like, hey, I want to figure out what's going on. I want to look at the network telemetry to see what the problem could be. Well, we made sure that we never skip that early step, and we know, hey, this is a billing problem. Don't waste your time on these other things. Even though all the details are here, we know it was a billing issue. Okay, great. Let me try another one. In this case, I'm just going to paste in the customer number, nothing more than that. And I'll tell you, in practice, that's what most of our support engineers are doing, right? They just, they don't give the context like I've been given. They just paste in the number and get going. And then DvSum, based on, it'll figure out for this account ID, what should it do? Like the last one was FTTH. This one I happen to know is going to be HFC. And it's going to figure out, all right, what's going wrong with this customer? So, and let's see what we get here. This one comes back and says, what does it say? Okay, this one's provisioning. And so it tells me like there's a problem with provisioning. Let's take a look at what could be causing it. And here, if you look, like we have a package, it's the silver package, and we have a MAC address. But look, the MAC address is different. If you look at those different things, I see one from CRM and a different one from provisioning. And so something is not right here. There's an inconsistency between systems. And in fact, in the observations here, it made it very explicit. Like it does not match. You've got different things for the same customer, and this is the root of the issue. Like it's not that there isn't a package, it's the silver package, but there's just an inconsistency from CRM to provisioning. All right, fine. And so this is a great example. Let's try one more. I'm going to put in another customer that's facing a problem. And let's see what the analysis is here. So this is going to be, I can tell, like you can see on the screen, the last question was HFC. This next one again is back to FTTH. But note, I'm not explicitly telling the agent that. It's just figuring that out itself and then troubleshooting, based on what it knows about this account. And so let's see. We've seen a few examples already, billing, provisioning, and in this case, it's on premises. Like it really is something unique to this customer, and sometimes that'll be the case, and like maybe here we really will need to roll a truck to solve the problem, and so that does happen, but we're sure that we're never doing that when we don't need to, right? And so, all right, again, we can see all the details that fed into that solution, and we've got the high level observations, and then we've got all the detailed data behind it. So, your support team can really see everything that went into that decision. They can double check it and then decide the next step to take. In this case, maybe roll in a truck. I want to close by thanking you for your time. If you have any questions, please reach out to us by email, or you'll find lots more information on our website, dvsum.ai. Thanks.